Jose from Stampin.com, and today I'm going to show you this card that I made the other day. It is using this Little Piggy stamp set, and it is an adorable, cute little stamp set with 4 different pigs and some greetings on it. This is one of the stamp sets that is on our last chance list, so it is only available for the remainder of the month of May until June 5th. Or while supplies last. So if you like this stamp set, make sure you get it before it is gone. I love it. I think it's super adorable. So for this card, I just used this one here. And the colors that I used are Coastal Cabana, cut to 5.5 by 8.5. Blushing Bride, 3 3/4 by 5. And then our watercolor paper, which is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So for this card, I'm also going to show you how to use this Stamparatus, and I'm actually going to be making a slightly different version than this one. So let's get started. For coloring my cardstock, I use the Blushing Bride, Bermuda Bay, Soft Suede, and Old Olive. So the Blushing Bride obviously is for the pig. So this is one of our older style ink pads. It's actually quite easy to push that lid into the bottom here. So that gets you some ink on the inside. I've actually put a little bit of re-inker on here too, just because there's some spots that I want a little bit darker. If you don't want to get this messy, you can always press the ink color right into one of your blocks and then use that as your palette. I prefer to actually have a bowl of water nearby when I'm using my Aquapainter. It just allows me to have a little bit more control as far as how much water I want on my tip. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to bring some of that color. I kind of want it to be light to begin with. So we're just going to bring that out. You can go fairly quick on your first layer. I just want kind of some light color everywhere. And we're going to start to darken him a little bit after. Alright, so now we want it to be a little bit darker. So a little bit more of that. And then we can go in, tiny bit more water. Just start coloring in the spots that you want a little darker. So I'm happy with that. You can see over here, I actually started to add a little bit too much water in this spot. So you just don't want to add too much, but I am happy with how that looks. So I'm just going to go on to the next color. So just clean off your Aquapainter. And we are going to use the Soft Suede on the bottom of our card. Now I'm doing this one a little bit different than I did my first card. So you will see a little different version. So we're just going to add some water on here and mix that in. Okay, so we just kind of going to add a little bit. I like to do that first layer first. So now that I'm done my layer of soft suede, I'm just going to bring in my Bermuda Bay. And I already have some ink on the inside because I've obviously done this card before. Just going to do the same thing, bring out a little bit of color into some water just to give it kind of a wash of that color first. So now that I have a basic wash, I want to add just a little bit darker. So I'm just going to add some water in here and get that color a little bit darker. So we want kind of the bottom to be darker and just to go into that lighter color. So I'm going to bring back in my first color here. I just want to add a little bit more dark kind of on the edges here. What's fun about this paper is it has a lot of forgiveness. So if you want to keep adding a little bit more, then you can. The other thing is you can kind of dilute it if you just have some water on there and just kind of give it a wash. You can kind of take away some of that darkness a little bit. I'm going to bring in my old olive color just to do the leaf on the Little Piggy's flower, like this. And for the flower, I actually just used Melon Mambo. So I'm just going to grab some from the corner here since I don't even have any in my lid, and just do my flower. So for this card, I decided to use the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which are some of my favorite newer ones. And let's see which one. I don't know what size yet. Nope, too small. Just thought we'd have some fun and just change the design up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. As you already probably know, I use some of my washi tape to hold down my dies. Just it helps position it on here, and then when I'm putting it through my die cut machine, it does not move from where I want it to. So we're just gonna do this, do this. So now I'm just gonna run that through my die cut machine. All right, so it looks like this. I'm just going to peel these carefully off because I want to use both of the pieces. Generally, if you're careful, the washi tape comes off really nicely. So, okay, so now I have these two pieces. I'm going to pull in my Blushing Bride cardstock. Generally, when I'm adhering the watercolor paper, I use this Tear and Tape. It is really good for thick layers like these and ones that are kind of warped like this. So it stays on really, really well. So I'm going to use that just for my edges and peel this off and just match that up to my cardstock like this. And then for the inside, I'm actually going to use some dimensionals. And I'm probably going to put 6 of them on here just to give it a little bit of extra help here in the middle. And of course you want to take the backings off of that too. If you actually press your nail into each, it pulls up the edges a little bit and it will help you get them off if you're having trouble getting them off. All right, now we want to line that up in the middle. So our last step is just adhering this piece to our background card. Now we want to connect our corners and just use the bone folder to give it that crisp, nice edging. And you know what? I'm going to use my Tear and Tape again just to give that a little bit more reinforcement. So now that I have that all together, the only thing missing is my cute little gem in the middle of my flower. So you can see this one is slightly different design than what I created the first time. I still have her skirt to put on. So for the first one, I actually just used our ribbon, which is our scallop lace trim in Very Vanilla. And it is so pretty. It looks like this. I don't know if you could see that. There you go. And so for the first one, I actually just adhered it like this with the Very Vanilla color. But for this one, I thought it would be kind of fun. I colored it using our lovely lipstick dark Stampin Blend. So I just colored it on both sides, let it dry. And of course it's going to dry fairly quickly because it is an alcohol-based marker. And what I did for the skirt is I grabbed some dimensionals directly on there and then I folded. So like that. Then you want to put your next dimensional on the top and give it a fold just to give it a little bit of pleating. And it's just so cute with the little skirt on, don't you think? like this. And let's see, is that long enough? Yeah, that's about right. And then I just took some more glue dots and put it on the back so that it stayed onto my card really, really well. And once you have it down on your card, if you found that it's a little long, you can trim it a little bit. So we're just gonna put a skirt like that. And let's see, where's my scissors? I'm just going to trim this side a little bit so that it fits her better. So what do you think? Which one do you like better? I would love to hear your opinions. I haven't decided which one I like better yet. So leave me a comment and let me know. Make sure you like my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Remember that this stamp set is retiring, so if you do like it, make sure you get it before it's gone. Thanks for watching. Bye!